Well, of course, tax season is just around the corner now, and the province is trying to get the word out about tax credits available to residents.
For more on this, we're joined live now by Ontario's Finance Minister, Peter Bethlenfalvy. Minister Bethlenfalvy, thank you for joining us on CP24 Live at noon. So let's talk about the personal income tax deadline. It's May 2nd, 2022, and you want to remind Ontarians that they're eligible for about 7 different tax credits if they file for 2021.
Great to be with you again, Jennifer and Nick. Absolutely, tax season. Here we go again, happens every year. And I just want to make sure that people of Ontario know that refundable tax credits are really the best way to get money back in the pockets of Ontarians, taxpayers, because they can be claimed even if you don't owe any tax. So it's important to be aware of these tax credits, really easy to do. Things like the jobs training tax credit, the seniors home safety tax credit, the low income workers tax credit. And, you just go to ontario.ca/tax credits. It's so important because these are available. We want to help people with their taxes. We want to help people with putting more money in their pockets.
One way you could put more money in people's pockets, Minister Bethlenfalvy, is we're hearing about this concept of getting rid of the license renewal fees, about $120 a year per vehicle that you own in the province here. That would cost the Treasury about $1 billion. Are you able to give us any more details on the sort of particulars of that plan? Is that going ahead?
Well, I don't want to overly disappoint you, Nick, but no, I can't give you any more details. But what I can say is that we're constantly looking at ways to make life more affordable for people. And that means looking at a range of options. And, you just go to the grocery store and you can feel it. You go to the pumps, you can feel it. You go many places. So we're constantly looking at ways to make life more affordable. And clearly tax credits is one way to put money in your pocket. They're available. So I really encourage Ontarians to go visit ontario.ca/tax credits.
Okay, and Minister Bethlenfalvy, people should also remember something for the next tax season, and that's this Ontario staycation tax credit, but that's not for this year, correct?
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Jennifer, because the staycation tax credit is really encouraging people to travel in Ontario this year. The tourism sector, a lot of our businesses have been hit really hard, and we have such a beautiful province. So the staycation tax credit, keep your receipts. If you're staying in a hotel, a bed and breakfast, an accommodation place, keep your receipts because next year you can file to get up to $200 per individual or $400 for family back in the form of a tax credit again, whether you owe tax or not, $400 in your pocket for a family.
Minister, I'll assume many of those truckers that are currently camped out in Ottawa aren't going to be eligible for that sort of a tax credit. But I wonder, in a more serious term, what your concerns are about what you're seeing unfold in Ottawa now. It's almost been 2 weeks here. Businesses have been shut down. The city is effectively at a standstill in the downtown area. They're asking your government for additional police resources, etc. How concerned are you about what this is going to do, A, to the economy, and B, to the governments of not only Ontario, but the country as a whole?
Peaceful protest is part of our makeup in society in Canada, but we also need to move on when it gets beyond peaceful protest. And as the Premier Doug Ford said, the best thing is for people to go home now, and that will allow the businesses to reopen. So the message is very clear. The point's been made. Time to go home.
All right, and Minister Bethlenfalvy, turning now to this housing task force, affordability task force that's being put out by Premier Doug Ford, 1.5 million new homes in a span of 10 years. I mean, among G7 countries, Canada's average housing supply is already pretty much bottom of the list there. What can you say about this plan and whether or not you're hopeful for it?
Well, I'm very hopeful, Jennifer, taking the housing challenge very seriously, both in terms of affordable housing and housing affordability is so critical. Breaking news, supply is such an important fact here, and that's why our government, Steve Clark, the minister, commissioned the task force to get the best ideas. That's why Premier Ford led a symposium with all the mayors, the large mayors of Ontario, but also all the mayors, to work together to find ways to improve supply, because this challenge is not going away. It's going to be a real focus of our government.
Okay, very good. Finance Minister Peter Bethlenfalvy, thanks so much for your time this afternoon. Have a great day.